Today we're here at the Big Morongo Preserve in Morongo Valley, and it is absolutely a gorgeous day. And I have Seth Shteir here from the National Parks Conservation Association. How are you doing today?
I'm doing just fine, thanks. It's a beautiful day to be here in Big Morongo Canyon Preserve.
So now, I know that you know about this new legislation that's coming into effect. So tell me about that.
Well, the new legislation is the California Desert Protection Act of 2011, and it was just introduced yesterday into Congress. Well, this legislation really does some really special things. It creates over 250,000 acres of new wilderness, and it also creates two large new national monuments. One national monument is the Sand to Snow National Monument at 134,000 acres, and the other one is the Mojave Trails National Monument at 941,000 acres. It also has some really wonderful additions to our national park system, additions to Death Valley National Park, Joshua Tree National Park, and the Mojave National Preserve.
So now all these things would be protected, where right now they are not?
Many of these things are federal land, but this is an extra blanket or extra layer of protection. And what is so significant about this is it protects it from burgeoning development in the Los Angeles area and also development in the Las Vegas metropolitan area. Those two areas are some of the fastest growing areas in the country, and gradually our desert is getting squeezed. Another place our desert is getting squeezed is actually in terms of renewable energy development. It's very important to have renewable energy development in the California desert to combat climate change, but we want to make sure that that development is sited on disturbed areas already and that it's not put on really sensitive ecological lands. There is almost 40,000 acres that will be added to Death Valley National Park, almost 30,000 acres that will be added to the Mojave National Preserve, and the last part I want to tell you about is the additions here in Joshua Tree. Almost 3,000 acres and equally significant. They're areas of, beautiful cholla cactus, some Joshua tree, and there's certain areas that have absolutely outstanding tortoise habitat for our famous desert animal, the desert tortoise.
You have brought some books with you today. What are these about?
Well, I brought some books here today because Big Morongo Canyon Preserve is not only an important place to me professionally because of the California Desert Protection Act, but it's a favorite place to me personally. And it's very significant habitat for birds and other wildlife. The second thing is that the other night I was walking down canyon, and what should I see but bear tracks in the muddy soil. And lastly, this area is a really wonderful spot for birds. It's internationally known birdwatching spot. We have about 253 species of birds that have been recorded here, 70 nesting species of birds. And these big cottonwoods you see around us that are so significant, they are like living apartment buildings for birds. They are places to find food, places to find shelter, and places to find mates. In fact, just the other night, I hiked down the canyon about 11 miles, and I saw some bighorn sheep up on the side of the wall, and I'm sure they were coming in from Joshua Tree National Park down to drink, and the female was actually pregnant. Other times I've come here, and there have been wonderful red flycatcher called the Vermilion Flycatcher. So this is one of my absolute all-time favorite birds that there is here at Big Morongo Canyon Preserve. It's called the Vermilion Flycatcher, and you can see why it's called the Vermilion Flycatcher. It makes its living hunting bugs in the air, goes up and grabs them. And it's a bird that likes these big cottonwoods a lot. And last year, we had a very special showing of a Vermilion Flycatcher on Valentine's Day. You've got a red bird, you've got Valentine's Day. What more could you ask for?
Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Seth, and explaining the California Desert Protection Act. And again, we encourage viewers to check out their website and find out more about this very important piece of legislation. And we just thank you so much, and we're so glad to be here, and we can hope that you continue to do what you do.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely.